Today in baseball history.
Howdy, I'm back. Today is April the 16th, and I'm recording Today in Baseball History for that such date, April the 16th. So I got three things to talk about today. Three. And I hope you find them interesting. We'll talk about first Bob Feller. Bob Feller was a very good pitcher back in the late 30s to early 50s ish. Except for 3 or 4 years that he took off to fight in the war, where he was a war hero as well, just like Ted Williams. Really cool. Anyway, but Bob Feller doesn't get a lot of press, even though at the time he probably had the hardest fastball of anybody pitching in the majors. Um, People were scared of him. Like, people were scared to get hit by his pitch that he was throwing so hard. And of course, now you got guys throwing 100, 102 miles an hour. But back then, a guy was throwing at 97, 98. Like, nobody did that. Bob Feller did that. And he started in 1936, was his rookie year. He was 17 years old. He's in the majors. It's unbelievable. He played for the Cleveland Indians for his entire career. I'm sporting his jersey right now. If you want to see it, okay. This is Bob Feller's jersey, number 19, which has always been one of my favorite numbers. Playing for the Indians, like that. All my jerseys are much smaller than they used to be. Anyway, the reason that I'm talking about Bob Feller today on April the 16th is because on this day in 1940, he was playing against the Chicago White Sox in Chicago, Comiskey Park. And it was one of those really crazy hot spring days. It was like 100 degrees in the shade kind of thing. So, even though baseball is a game that's played in the summer, it gets really hard when it's really hot. But anyway, he was playing in this game, the Indians against the White Sox. And in that heat, Mr. Bob Feller, Mr. Robert Feller, as some know him, he pitched a no-hitter. The first and only opening day no-hitter in baseball history. This is over 150 years of playing Major League Baseball. There has been one person to throw a no-hitter on opening day, and that's Fancy Bob. I just brought up some of Bob Feller's statistics on baseballreference.com because I don't have them in my head at all times. But it's amazing. It's amazing to see what he did throughout his career. He won over 20 games 6 times, with a high in 1940, the year that he threw the no-hitter. He had 27 wins against 11 losses. Now, you got to know at this time as well, in the late 30s to early 40s, Cleveland was one of those teams that was just coming up the ladder. They had never been really a great team, except in the early 1900s. So they're starting to move back up, and to have Bob Feller as your ace pitcher in a time like this must have been amazing. Like, I can't even imagine being in Cleveland at this time and being such a baseball fan. So he was a winner of only one World Series because the Cleveland Indians were not winning World Series back then. That was in 1948. So he's a World Series winner. He was an 8-time All-Star. He won the ERA title once, again in 1940, so that's a pretty good year for him. And he was the leader in strikeouts in his league, the American League, 2, 4, 6, 7 times. Out of 18 years that he played, 7 times he led the league in strikeouts. So this is a guy who could fire a ball past anybody. So that happened on April the 16th, 1940. Let's move to the next one. It's now April the 16th, 1989. And a wonderful looking man that we like to call Kelly Gruber, who played for the Toronto Blue Jays at third base for a number of years. Fan favorite. Everybody loved this guy. He was part of the only triple play in World Series history that wasn't counted. If you're from Toronto, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was a game that ended 15-8. and it was played in Toronto, and it was against the Kansas City Royals. So in his first at bat, Mr. Gruber hit himself a home run. Fantastic. Fans love him. Second at bat, it's a double. All right, we're moving along. He's got a lot of total bases today. Way to go. Third and fourth at bat, he grounds out or strikes out or something like that. So he's already had 4 at bats. He's probably not going to hit for the cycle. He's already got 4 at bats. Most guys don't only get 4 at bats in a game, but all of a sudden the Jays start scoring more runs thanks to a Kelly Gruber triple. So now he's got a home run, he's got a double, he's got a triple. It's like the 7th inning already. He's got 5 at bats. Is he going to come back out and try to get that elusive single? Like, he only needs a single for the cycle. And sure enough, in the bottom of the 8th inning, Kelly Gruber steps to the plate and hits himself a single. Now, the cool thing about this, I don't know if it's cool or not, but I remember this game, and Kelly Gruber could have had a double. Like, he hit it into the gap in the outfield, and he probably could have legged out a double, but he knew, as much as anybody else in the stadium knew, that he needed a single for the cycle, and they were up in the score already, so why bother, stretching it out? I think that's kind of cool. I mean, if we were losing and he stopped at first base, I'd have a big problem with that. But I think it was a pretty cool thing to watch. Number 3, you see I've changed my jersey. On this day in 1991, 2 years after Kelly Gruber hit his cycle for the Toronto Blue Jays, on April the 16th, 1991, Mr. Nolan Arenado was born. Nolan Arenado. Do you have a jersey? Oh, yes, I think I do. Right there. Look at that. Oh, there's number 28. Rockies. Arenado. Again, a little tight. I mentioned this because Nolan Arenado is one of my favorite players currently playing in Major League Baseball. He came into the league in 2013, so he's already been around for, this is his 8th season already. Seems like it's flown by. And he turns 30 years old today. So he's doing his 8th season, 30 years old on this day. Some of his achievements that he's had in those first 8 years, sorry, he's in 9th season. But some of the achievements that he had in his first 8 years, he led the league, the National League, in home runs on 3 different occasions, 2015, 2016, 2018. He also led the league in RBIs in a couple of seasons. He's consistently getting over 170 to 187 hits a season. He was a all-star selection 5 times in his career so far at third base, and probably one of the best third basemen to come around in a very long time. I'm thinking of Brooks Robinson in the 70s and Mike Schmidt also in the 70s and 80s. They were fantastic third baseman, but Arenado is like a throwback to these guys. Arenado has won in the 8 years that he's already played. He's won the Gold Glove at third base 8 times. Like, this isn't a secret. He is the best at that position. It's a hard position to play. So I wanted to say happy birthday to Nolan. If he sees this, maybe send me a St. Louis jersey with your name on it now, because you're not in Colorado anymore. Although I do like the purple. I think the purple is really kind of a standout color. And that's it. That's April the 16th for you. Tomorrow, oddly enough, is April 17th. So I'll try to get something together for that, and we'll see how long we can have this thing go. Thanks. Oh, remember to subscribe.